So what we're going to be doing today is going to be doing stay command. Now what you do with the stay command, it's an indefinite stay. Stay means they have to stay there till you release them from that position. Now how I work it out, everyone has a different approach, a different technique. My technique, I pivot on my left foot, I step in front of the dog, I use my right hand for the stay command. My stay command is just a down, flat, open palm position. I touch the dog on their nose, I give them a physical, a visual, and I also give them a verbal. Now when I do work with a dog when I'm training it, I always use name first so they know I'm talking to them directly. And again, we're working with Nina. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have my back to you, but I'm going to pivot on my left foot, I'm going to face the dog, and I'm going to teach him to stay. Okay? First we're going to get it to sit. Nina, sit. Good girl. Now if you notice, I only repeated it one time. Say it once, let it roam around for a little bit. It'll eventually work its way into their ears. They know what you ask them to do. If they don't do it immediately, give it a few seconds. Then repeat it again. Then if they don't do it, then you make them sit down. Okay? So that's the first thing for a sit, because you always want to start them off in the stay and the sit position. So again, I'm going to pivot on my left foot, and I'm going to face them. Now my sit command is from the stay position with flat open palm to straight up like that. So it's stay, sit. Okay? So this is what I'm going to do with her right now. So I'm going to pivot in front of her. Again, name first, Nina, stay. Now I give a physical, a visual, and a verbal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to step back from her, facing her. Nina, stay. Nina, sit. Good girl. Every time they do what you ask them to do, high praise. I'm not always a big proponent of treats because we don't always have treats on us. High praise is just as good. They love it. Nina, stay. Now, the first time out, you don't want to step too far back. You want to get comfortable first with her staying. And each time that you work it, you can move further and further back. Now, this is our first time of working with Nina with the stay command, so I'm not going to step back too far. So when she's in that position and she is staying, she stayed there for a nice while, now I'm going to call her to come to me. And the come command is when I go from my flat palm to the stay to just the come. I just raise it slightly and move my fingers like you would motion someone to come to you. Nina, come. Good girl. What a good girl. What a baby. So you see, that's what you do. You face the dog, you step back, you wait a moment, then you call her to come to you. Now, if you noticed, when I did call her, I bent over slightly. When you bend over to a dog, that's an invitation for them to come to you automatically, come and play. That's how one dog invites another dog to play. So when you want them to stay, you stand erect all the time. This is all the body language that you want to give a dog. So again, this is the stay command. We're going to do it again, and this time I'm going to go further out. Nina, sit. Good girl. Good sit, Nina. Good girl. Nina, stay. Up. Stay. And now at this time I went further out. But I'm going to up the challenge this time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate around Nina to see how long she'll stay, even if I'm out of her sight. Nina, stay. As you can see, Nina's in the stay position still. I completely walked around her. I got out of her field of vision, and she still continued to stay. I'm using a retractable lead. I normally don't recommend them, but it was a wet day, and our leads were getting kind of wet, and they were getting caught up under our feet. So we did go ahead to use a retractable. But for future purposes, I would not be using them for training at all. Now I'm going to change my direction, just to switch it up on her. She's used to me going clockwise. Now I'm going to go counterclockwise. I move in and I move out, just so she knows distance doesn't matter. When she's in a stay command, she needs to stay in that command until I release her. And for the first time that we're teaching Nina these techniques, it's amazing how she's responding to it. Some dogs get it just like that. Some dogs takes a little bit more time. Patience is the key, okay? One of my catchphrases is pause. Patience always wins. If you find yourself getting frustrated, remove yourself from the situation. And when you do remove yourself from the situation, before you do it, have them do something that they know they can do. Always leave on a high note. It's like they always say, always leave them smiling. So I would ask her to sit, and then I would walk away from the situation. Nina is doing phenomenal. This is amazing. This is her first time out learning the stay command. And look at this. She's stoic. She's waiting for my next command. And of course you're going to have mistakes. This is how it works. And this is why it's called training. Now this is the first step in getting her to be acclimated to where we truly want to get her so we can find her forever home. This is a wonderful dog. She has a lot of potential. That was just 10 minutes of working with her. So continue to watch. There'll be plenty more tips coming from Casita Big Dog Rescue. We want to thank ValuePetSupplies.com for saving another life. Continue to watch.